For Objective 3, we make our way to Jack Frost Tower, rock out to some beats, and then put all of our hard work in looking at the Wi-Fi adapter to good use. Finally. So it did take me about an hour to get through the terminal, the Grepping one, and I did experience a fantastic problem during it. Okay. The problem that I have now is that I need to figure out the next question. We probably should have taken a copy of the question because now the questions are gone. And I've scrolled up as far as I can go and I can't see the questions. So let's see if we can get it back. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I don't know the question. I don't know how I can answer a question if I don't know the question. Questions? Help. Yeah, so that's not great. That's not great. I don't know how to show the questions again without going out and back in. You stupid guy. Stupid. Look, lesson learned here. Always take a backup, even if it is of the actual question that you are being asked, because if you accidentally run a command that's going to dump a whole bunch of text to the terminal, you may not be able to scroll up enough to actually find the rest of the questions that you need to answer. After embarrassingly taking probably an hour to complete that terminal challenge, which wind up taking longer than the 20 minutes or so to complete this wireless challenge to break into Jack Frost Tower, we essentially move on to the actual objective. Opening up the Wi-Fi client, we first off need to essentially connect to the network. To do that, we need to use IWList and scan for a wireless network. We find that there is the Frost Nidus setup ESS ID, and then from there we need to essentially connect to it. Not knowing how to connect to it, I start to look at whether I can use IWconfig and look at the manual because naturally I have no idea what I'm doing with this tool. It does tell us that IWconfig can be used by specifying the wireless network or the Ethernet, the ESSID, and then saying the network name that you want to connect to. After doing this, we will be notified that we have connected to the network. And it says that the Nidus thermostat has been detected with a particular URL that we can go to. Using curl, we were able to access this particular URL that then it greets us with a level of documentation. Of relevance, there is two things specified. One is the register and one is the API documentation URL. Now the register URL sort of takes us to this waning, waxing moon or the Death Star. Not entirely sure what this is. Maybe it's Jack Frost Tower. Maybe it's a Lego man that's been dismembered. I don't quite know. So we go from the register, we go back to looking at the API documentation. Naturally, I don't remember what the API documentation was called, so we have to go back to the main webpage. Curling the API documentation, we see that there is a number of endpoints available to us. One of the endpoints at API Cooler is available without registering, or without authentication, so to speak. By using that particular API, we are able to send a post request that is going to change the temperature of the cooler. It is great that we are told not to set the temperature above 0 degrees, and being the good citizens that we are, we attempt to make it still above 0 degrees. We attempt to be modifying the temperature so that it doesn't melt down Jack Frost Tower. In hindsight, that was a pretty silly thing to do because the entire objective was to melt open Jack Frost Tower. Keeping it above 0 degrees naturally will not melt it because that is the freezing point. Wait. You just said if you keep it above 0 degrees, it won't melt. Isn't that the opposite of what will happen? Yeah, voiceovers are hard. I messed up. You get what I'm thinking here? You get what I did? My brain did a stupid... Alright, let's continue. Dropping it. above 0 degrees will allow us to get in and solve the challenge, thus opening up the door and granting us access to Jack Frost's tower.